Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 26th. We're just going to jump right in here, Cancer. You have this going forward card. I actually really like this card. It's a path that's going to the sunrise here. And you have this inner peace card. So things could just be, going well for you right now, Cancer. You could just be feeling well, or things could just be going in the right direction. You do have the Knight of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Three of Cups. That doesn't that could be a third party. So some of you could be healing from a third party situation or a person who put you into a third party. So I would definitely be careful of that here. I would be careful if you had a person who is like trying to come back, who is super inconsistent in your life as well. I'm sure they're up to no good. Yeah, it looks to me like you're moving on to new love anyway. You have the Page of Cups here with the Three of Wands. You have this slow and steady wins the race card. So you're probably just looking to take it slow and steady with like a new person. And, I feel like that will be a much better option for you. The other thing that I'm getting here with the Knight of Wands is that, you have this going forward card, and I'll show you that card in a minute, but, it's like a card of being on a new path, or, it could also just be committing to your journey, and that's also popping into my head. What I mean by that is it's like sometimes I think we, dabble in something, we have an idea, we start a business, we start a side hustle. It's almost like you're making something more legitimate. It's like I really see you here kind of making like a commitment to like a project, a business, something that you want to do here. Actually, I have to show you over here, but it's like you're kind of going towards that path of the sun. Maybe there's clarity, but with this Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands also represents an adventure. That going forward card represents an adventure. And then we go like this. We go Three of Wands to the Judgment card. This basically says, like, what are you waiting for when it comes to your destiny? The Judgment card is kind of like your life purpose. The Three of Wands says, what are you waiting for? You will be very successful. So, just kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together here without even clarifying. I feel like some of you, it's like you need to, it's almost like you're making a deeper commitment to something you've been working on, especially for those of you that have like a side hustle, side business, or that have a business that just isn't doing as well as you want, or even a career. I feel like you're really kind of doubling down here on something, and that's going to lead to like a lot of success. I feel like this reading, like there's something very important here that you're doing in your life. So, it's almost like this is saying, this is like an important turning point for you. You have this Wheel card, and I'm getting something about like turning, and you have the Chariot, which is also a chariot has wheels. So there's like an important turning point happening in your life. But I feel like, I'm not going to make you wait for the answer. The answer is the commitment. It's like, you can have a side business all day long, but if you don't do the things that make a business successful, then you're not like fully committed. I'm not calling you out here, and I'm not even saying, that's what's going on here. But what I am saying is it's like, I think that the step you need to take for those of you in business is making it legitimate. Maybe you build a website, maybe you start marketing it on social media or something like that. Like there's something you're doing here, and whatever it is, that is the turning point, is the action of making something more legitimate. I hope that makes sense. But you have the Three of Swords here. Some of you could have gone through a heartbreak. I also feel, by the way, there's definitely new love coming in for you, but it's like you're worried that this person will break your heart or something like that, and I don't think they will. If you're meeting a new person, I feel like this is a good person, like Knight in Shining Armor, marriage. You do have the Five of Cups here, but this last row represents the good stuff, and so the Five of Cups is, as far as the good stuff is concerned, would say that you're learning to be grateful for what you have, which always leads to this bridge and this castle. It could also say that you are getting over the Three Cups right here. You have the Three Cups. He's got 3 cups spilt over in front of him. Those 3 cups, it kind of represents something that he has lost his taste for. He no longer enjoys wine, and he's grieving the loss of something that he no longer enjoys. So it's like some of you, it's like maybe you're realizing if you're grieving the loss of a past person, and we see that a new person here is like, hey, I'm a new person. This is your past, who put you in a third party. It's like, again, if you could be, it's like, sometimes I think we can grieve the loss and realize that the person isn't right for us, and we would never take them back, but we can still be sad about it. And I feel like some of you, it's like you're kind of moving past that. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. Yeah, definitely could be a person who put you into competition or something like that. I feel like this is a very empty person if you dealt with this. I don't think this story is for all of you, But again, I feel like if you had a past person who was a player, I feel like they are very empty, and that's why they're a player, because they are trying to, fill wounds and heal wounds and trauma that they've just never corrected. So they, definitely a person who clearly needs therapy here, Cancer. But, so again, I don't think you should, judge yourself or judge future people based off of this past person. For others, by the way, if you are going on an adventure, learning something, an adventure does not have to be travel. It could be learning something new, starting a business, starting a new relationship. It could be moving, traveling, whatever it is you're doing. The Five of Wands is a card I call Indiana Jones. To me, it represents like going on a crazy adventure and getting some sort of treasure or reward. So I feel a lot of you like could be getting a reward here. With the Three of Swords, you have the Moon card here. The Moon card is a card of like focus. It can be a card of fear and, secrets and all that other stuff, and intuition, needing to trust your intuition. But I also feel that it's a card of, kind of like needing to focus on the end, the goal that you have in mind. The Moon card, there's some mountains in the background. The mountains represent an achievement. And so, like, it's part of the Fool's journey, the Moon, and he really needs to focus on those mountains, and he needs to not get off his path. The Moon is a warning to not get distracted. With the Three of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups. There's true love coming in for you, right here. Well, all this right here. So I definitely feel there's like a new person coming in. It could be a water sign for a lot of you. Could also be a Capricorn. I noticed, I don't think I said it, but I noticed in your quarter 3 reading or I think it was your quarter 3 reading, whatever. You had a bunch of Capricorn cards. I might have said that, but again, it could be a Capricorn coming in for you, your opposite sign, if you're looking for love. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this Beaver Spirit. It says, lay a solid foundation. You had 3 cards. You have this Truth Transcends Illusion card, and you have this Turtle Spirit. It says, slow and steady wins the race. So obviously, if you're meeting a new person, I feel this is going to be very important. You have to lay a solid foundation. You have to kind of like put the work in to make it work. And, that's what I would do here. I do feel that you are attracting a person who like really puts in the work, who lays a solid foundation, who makes it happen. So make sure to do it. You have this Truth Transcends Illusion card. It's like you're seeing the truth. The dragonflies, if you look through their wings, they're kind of like iridescent. And so it kind of represents dragonfly medicine. The totem meaning is that, they can represent an illusion, something that's not real. But I actually feel like you are seeing what's real. Or maybe you have learned how to kind of look through the wrapper of something. It's like you've learned how to really get down to, to the core of something. You have this Turtle Spirit, says, slow and steady wins the race. Yes, I would take your time. I do feel like for some of you, by the way, this could be like a long distance connection, Chariot, Knight of Cups. So, I actually think it will move quickly, considering it's long distance, but, if that's what's coming in for you. But, again, I would just take your time and don't try to rush it. You have the Temperance, 3 of Wands, and the Page of Cups. Temperance is a card of patience, so, definitely patience, and there will need to be changes if this is a love situation. For some of you, this could also be you working on a dream. Again, that Knight of Cups, I always say, Knight of Cups doesn't have to be love. He is normally looking into that cup. He's like dreaming of his future life, something that he wants to create. And the Temperance card could say that you are changing your circumstances right now, or you're doing something, like something important to change your circumstances, some sort of turnaround, like I was saying at the beginning of the reading. It keeps popping into my head. And what I would say here is I feel like that's the thing that leads to success, is like some sort of change. You have the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands, like, what are you waiting for? Kind of encourages you to take some sort of leap of faith. So I definitely feel, while I wouldn't rush anything at this time, I would get moving. I know, I seem to confuse a lot of people because I say that we need to move quickly but slowly at the same time. And I know that sounds contradictory as well, but it's not. I think that if we're starting something, we need to get started right away. Like, no waiting. But then we need to build whatever we're building, like, patiently and slowly. And we need to make sure that we're doing, all the right things. We need to make sure that we're paying attention to all the details and not like rushing things. So, there is such a thing as moving fast and slow. There's a great book, Thinking Fast and Slow. So, if you can't wrap your head around how to move fast and slow, then maybe you need to read that book. But what I would say here is that, again, I think that we need to get started, it could be a relationship, could be a business, but we also need to not rush at the same time. So it's more about seizing the opportunity, which we see right here. You have the Page of Cups. He's got this fish in the cup, and I always say that fish could be anything. Could be a goal, wish, dream, person, whatever. Page of Cups, obviously, could be a secret admirer, but he needs to grab onto that fish because that fish could hop out into the water and escape. So again, there is something here about like seizing an opportunity, grabbing onto it and then, kind of working on the foundation of whatever it is, whether it's a person, a business, a career. I really feel that. So get moving. With the Temperance card, you have the Page of Wands. If this is love, definitely a very passionate connection. I also would follow enthusiasm. I really, really have been encouraging, especially water signs, to follow their inspirations, their enthusiasm right now. Just because energetically, it's like probably the best thing we can do is follow, the things that make us feel enthusiastic, and because I think the universe just wants that. Let's put it that way. With the Three of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, a lot of you could be dealing with a heartbreak. Like I said right here, it's almost like you're over it. You see that it's toxic. You would never go back with the Five of Wands. But it's like the second you heal from it, I feel is the second a good person will come in for you. I would also encourage you to take risks with that Five of Swords. It is a card of taking a risk and making things happen. With the Page of Wands, the Page of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands. Like I said, it's a very committed person. If you're attracting this person or this person, I feel like this is the same person. I feel like maybe you are attracting a person who's recently gotten over something as well. So it might not be you. It could be a person you're attracting that's been through this. But regardless, I feel like this person, I feel like they have good boundaries with the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of commitment as well. So they're probably a very committed type person, as in when they get into something, they want to be committed. So there you go. You have next in the area of the unexpected. You have this Crown card. It says success and pride. You have this wheel. It says endings and beginnings. So there's clearly a new beginning coming in for you. I feel like there could be a very successful person that you will be proud to be with that Crown card. Like you could literally be feeling like royalty, with a person that you're attracting. So, like I said, go for it if you feel that. Could be a very successful person is what I'm getting. I'm also getting that, what's interesting is that maybe your past person, you see these people, they have animal horns on their head. So it could say like your past person, maybe you thought they had a crown, but it was just, it was just a devil. It was just a person with horns, basically. And so you could be seeing the difference. I am getting Capricorn vibes here, so it could just be a Capricorn that's coming in for you with the devil. But again, I would avoid a toxic person from the past. You have the Chariot, you showing up in a very strong position. So, again, Devil, Capricorn, and, both major arcana. So, again, you could be attracting a Capricorn, but the Chariot is also a victory. It can also represent long distance as well. So, or travel or needing to move. And then we go to the Knight of Cups, which, so again, this kind of leads me to believe that it could be someone at a distance or that involves travel. It might not even be that big of a deal, It's kind of like what's popping into my head is it could be a person you work with. It's like maybe you drive an hour to work like this direction and they drive an hour to work this direction. So it's like you live 2 hours apart, right? But you both work at the same place. You both have a long commute, but you both just drive different ways, right? I hope that, I don't know, that's such a weird message to pop into my head, but that's what I'm getting here. Is it's like maybe it's a person from work and you both have long commutes from the opposite direction or something like that. Could just be long distance as well. You have the Judgment card. I feel like you are getting messages about something. I feel like you need to pay attention to your messages here, especially if you feel like you're going crazy. I don't think you are. You could be having like dreams about, and maybe your dreams are like, this person's in love with you, or, you need to start this business, or you need to go in this direction. I would listen to your dreams. And again, if you are nervous to take action, like on a business or something like that, I always tell people like the best thing we can do right now is justice. Just take a little step, right? Try, if you're having dreams about a business you want to start, just take like a tiny little step, see what happens. If it works, double down on it. If it doesn't work, then stop, So, again, I think the problem right now is we have a lot of energy that's making things seem like this big, huge. And we need to just like take a tiny little step. So, don't like get overwhelmed thinking you have to, have $1 billion business overnight. Like just try to make $1, right? Start small. With the Devil, Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles, definitely, I don't know, if this person either has Capricorn on their chart or they are a Capricorn. I would lean more towards the side of saying that you could be attracting a Capricorn. With the Chariot, you have the Empress. Yes, I feel like this person will make you feel like royalty, like I already said. I also feel that you're attracting a lot of abundance. I'm telling you right now. For those of you that are focusing on building a solid foundation, that are like really focused on the basics and that are really focused on kind of doing what works in work and business and career, I see a lot of abundance coming in for you. So love it. With the Judgment card, you have the Six of Swords. For some reason I thought you had the Six of Swords twice, but you don't. Six of Swords, of course, is about moving on to calmer shores, getting past the bad stuff, which we kind of saw at the beginning of the reading. So I feel like you are clearly healing from, past situations. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Flexible card and this Yang card. So I would just be flexible at this time. I think we all need to be flexible. I've said this a million times. Last year, we had that eclipse in Taurus, and I think that eclipse in Taurus kind of marked a point in our life where we really need to make sure to be flexible. That eclipse in Taurus was all about flexibility. It literally said, if you can't accomplish something one way, find another way. So flexibility is where it's at. This Yang energy card, I love. It's like the Ace of Wands. So there's clearly a very passionate new beginning coming in for you here, Cancer. You have the Five of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. Again, I actually like that the Five of Cups is coming up in this last position. The Five of Cups is a card of disappointments. It's a card of losing your taste for something that you once enjoyed, but it's like you don't even enjoy it anymore. So, for some of you, I feel like you need to be grateful for what you do have, because that's how you get the bridge in the castle. Again, the solution to the Five of Cups is always gratitude, but I feel like you are being grateful, and that's why you're probably seeing something that's going to have a solid foundation, something that's important. This castle here, it kind of represents safety, security, comfort, protection. So whatever it is, could be a person, could be a business, a career, whatever, doesn't matter. I feel like it's something that's actually going to set you free. You have this Four of Wands here. The Four of Wands, of course, is a card of marriage. I do feel like you could be attracting a person you marry, but really, to me, the Four of Wands is a card of accomplishment. It's like a finish line card. It can represent finishing something up, wrapping something up, and it's also a card of freedom as well. So it's like whatever you're getting here, whether it's love or business, it could be a business that makes you feel financially free. It could be a relationship with the Knight of Cups, a knight in shining armor, that makes you feel free. I feel like there's a lot of growth here as well. So, like, if you're attracting a person, I feel like you could be attracting a person where there's just like a lot of, it never gets boring, is what I would say. I feel like you never get bored with this person. A lot of experiences, a lot to do. He has this water in front of him. He's standing in the desert, but if he plants seeds in front of this water, they will grow. So it's kind of interesting. It's like popping into my head that if this is a person, I feel like there's just like going to be a lot of growth, a lot of planting seeds between the two of you. If this is a business or a goal that you have, same thing. I feel like there's just going to be a lot more growth. I also see I think that some of you don't realize how many more things you will get out of a business or a career change here. It's like I feel like a lot of people don't realize this, just how far you could take something. That's kind of like popping into my head. Like you might be thinking like, oh, I'm gonna maybe you want to become a hairdresser or something like that. I don't know, it's popping into my head. That's what we'll use. So maybe you become a hairdresser, you start a barbershop or something like that. And then, but then maybe you, like in the future, I think what you don't see is that maybe that in the future you start like a school that teaches people how to do it. So you're making even more money. It's like, that's what I see in my head. I hope that makes sense. It's like you're taking something to the next level here, and looks really good to me here, Cancer. With the Five of Cups, yes, you have are you kidding? Literally, we talked about this. The Three of Cups right here, then you have the Two of Cups behind him. Are you serious? There's definitely something behind you once you're grateful. For some of you, I feel like you already have your eye on this Two of Cups. Like I said, like maybe it's a person that you stare at all day in your office, right? I'm totally going to call you out here, Cancer. So it's like maybe it's someone that you have your eye on at work or in business. It's like you stare at this person or whatever the hell you do, right? And so it's like that could be your person. With the Four of Wands, yes, Justice. Like I said, I knew the Justice card was going to come up. I literally said it 2 seconds ago. This is your answer right here. This is all you need to focus on. Taking those tiny little steps. What does your heart tell you to do, right? Take the tiny little steps, see what happens. Like, no, there's no need to take these huge, big leaps, but I do feel that this is an opportunity, this Page of Cups here, that you need to grab onto. Like I said earlier, you don't want that fish to escape, whatever it is. It could be an opportunity, a business opportunity, it could be a raise or promotion. So, I would grab onto it. take that tiny little step. With the Knight of Cups, yes, how did I know that you were spying on someone here, Cancer? Queen of Swords. She has clouds halfway up her body. She finally sees things clearly. So, I feel like you see very clearly, like a person you're interested in, or, an opportunity that you're interested in. Take it how it resonates. We're going to pull 5 main themes. I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to pull the 5 themes. You have this birth card. A lot of people have been getting these birth energies. I would be careful. You have that Empress. If you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be careful here. Wrap it before you tap it. Do whatever you got to do. But, if you're obviously, plenty of people leave me comments. They're like, I can't get pregnant. I'm like, well, obviously this isn't for you. So you have nothing to worry about then. But if you can, I would be careful. It could also be the birth of a new career. Again, I'm telling you right now, for those of you like in business or career, there is something more. It's like I can't really grab onto the message, but it's almost like you are thinking about something as like one step, right? But there's actually like 4 steps. It's like you're gonna make that step, make a bunch of money maybe in your business or your career, but then there's more after that. So again, it kind of goes along with like that, with like expansive thinking. Sometimes I think we limit ourselves. I don't really have any good examples. It's like I used to work with a guy, and he's a pretty big marketer, and he used to say that, he would create products and things like that, and he would say, this is how you can make like $3,000 a month. Let's just use that as an example, right? One time I heard someone ask him, like, why don't you say, 10,000 or 20,000? And he said, because most people don't believe they can make that much. It's like you say 3,000, so it's like most people sell themselves short, right? And I kind of feel like in this reading, I feel like this reading is saying, don't sell yourself short. It's like you might be thinking like, oh, I'll become a hairdresser, I make $3,000 a month, but maybe you're meant to make $20,000 a month. Maybe you're meant to make more. So, it's hard to believe if you've never done it, right? But it's like once you do it, then you're like, okay, if I can do that, then what can I do? So I feel like this generosity card is saying, number 1, the universe wants to be generous with you. But number 2, it's like I feel that sometimes we need to like expand our limits or, live beyond what we think we can create. You have this charity card. These generosity and charity cards and stuff came up quite a bit during the 3rd quarter readings. So I feel like the universe wants to be generous and is giving. So, maybe you need to like brainwash yourself. Like, obviously if you are making $3,000 a month, to get to like $20,000 or $30,000 a month, it's like that's a big leap for your brain, right? But like I'm a big fan of like affirmations, meditations, hypnosis. Those are all things we can do to like brainwash ourselves and to get rid of the money blocks and all that other stuff. So, and there are plenty of free videos on YouTube about like removing money blocks, writing affirmations to get rid of money blocks, all that stuff. So, same thing in love. It's like if you don't believe you deserve love, then you're not going to get it. So maybe that's something to work on. You have this discrimination card here. This card is like a card of discernment. It's a card of being able to tell what's right and what's wrong in your life, and I feel like you're just getting better at that. And finally, you have this decision card. Again, this is going to be the best decision you've ever made. Picking this Knight of Cups. And again, it does not have to be a person. For a lot of you, I feel it could be both, actually. For a lot of you, though, I feel like it's business. Again, because that Knight of Cups, he's very dreamy, and we are in a very dreamy time where I think we all have these big, grand ideas. Some people will accomplish it, some people won't. This is why my readings, I always try to encourage people, because it's like, now is the time. If there was ever a time where you could accomplish some sort of crazy ass goal that you have for yourself, like take whatever you want, multiply it by 1,000. Maybe you want to make $1 million, multiply that by 1,000. That's like $1 billion, right? Maybe you don't get to $1 billion, right? But if you get to 100 million, are you going to cry? No, I don't think so. You'll be wiping your tears with $100 bills, right? So, again, I keep telling people, like, take your biggest goal, whatever you want to achieve right now, multiply it by 1,000. Are you going to get that 1,000x? Hell no. But guess what? It's, I think one of my favorite people of all time, Les Brown, says, it's better to aim high and miss than it is to aim low and hit. So, I feel like it's time for you to aim high here, Cancer. But really good reading. Love it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.